Hi. These dashboards are about a household which has three submeters, including HVAC, laundry, and kitchen. And the first dashboard that we are looking at shows the consumption today and the consumption this day last week and consumption this day last month. And we can see that the consumption today has been much more than what was the consumption this day last week at this point of time. So this is sort of a warning that the user can get immediately when he sees that his consumption today is actually being almost more than twice what was the usual consumption for this day last week and this day last month. So this is about this dashboard, which actually gives you the overall summary, and this can be had by the full household and also for the individual units, as we can see that the most consumption has been for the HVAC unit. Now the next dashboard that we will look at looks at the device level efficiency, and we are going to look at mostly the HVAC unit here, but this is applicable to all units of the household. Now in this case we are comparing the actual benchmark energy consumption in 24 hours which was available from the device manufacturer with the actual consumption that took place, and we are comparing 3 years of data here. The data for 2015 shows that the benchmark was 30 kilowatt hours in 24 hours, and the actual consumption was around 44 kilowatt hours, and that meant that there was a loss of $18 for the month. But this inefficiency has actually grown over time, and the initial efficiency was around 70%, but it is getting worse, and currently for this year it is around 58%, and the current loss is around $27 per month. So this has already reached the red mark, and this is an indication to the user that he will probably need to look at his HVAC unit and get it repaired, or maybe buy a new unit. Now the next dashboard that we have is about tariff, and the importance of this dashboard is that it allows the user to compare different tariff rates and what is his usual consumption based on those tariff rates. That way he will be able to select the kind of tariff rates that will suit him the most, or it will result in the least consumption, least amount of expense for him. Now this is available for this day today and this day last week, this day last month, but we are planning to have this for the year also. So for the entire year he can actually take a look at his consumption and compare the three different options that is available to him and choose the option that suits him the most and provides him the least amount of expenditure. The next one that we will look at is the energy consumption distribution. Now it is very important for the user to know where he is spending most of his energy and his money. So in this case the HVAC unit is actually the one that is mostly being used by him, and this day last week we can see that the HVAC unit was 74% in use totally, and the laundry unit was not used this day last week. Today the laundry and the kitchen has both been in action, and therefore the contribution of the HVAC unit has been lower than the other units. So for this day last week and for this day last month. Now the last thing that we will look at is the peak period analysis. The peak period analysis will let the user know where at what time point he is actually expending most of his energy, and if he knows that at that period the tariff rates are rather high, then he may choose to shift the load to different time periods and thereby reduce his costs. Here we can see that usually it is around 12 noon that he is having most of his expenditure, and today also the expenditure has gone up around the 12 noon period. But if that is actually a period where the tariff rates are high, then he can actually choose to shift the load maybe towards the evening, where the load is generally lower, below after 8 p.m. So maybe at that time, if he spends some of his, he shifts some of his load here, then probably his tariff rates will be much lower. So these are the dashboards that we are going to talk about.